Picture this. It's the 1600s, Europe is hungry for spices, and the world is a vast, uncharted territory. Sailing across the world is still a pretty big deal, fraught with dangers and uncertainties. Enter the Dutch, tired of Portugal hogging the eastern trade routes and determined to make their mark. They decided, why not cut out the middleman, Portugal in this case, and get those spices ourselves? They were driven by ambition and a vision for a prosperous future. Thus, in 1602, the Dutch East India Company, or VOC for those who love acronyms and who doesn't, was born. This was no ordinary company. This wasn't just any company, it was a mega corporation with powers that would make modern CEOs drool. They had unprecedented authority. They could negotiate treaties, raise armies, and even mint their own coins. Imagine a company today with such sweeping powers. Talk about taking company perks to a whole new level. The VOC was a force to be reckoned with. Their mission was simple: secure a monopoly on the spice trade. But achieving this was anything but simple. These guys were the original go big or go home type, and they weren't planning on going home empty-handed. They were prepared for the long haul. Little did they know, they were about to embark on a roller coaster ride of epic proportions, one filled with spices, ships, and a whole lot of drama. Their journey would reshape the world. The VOC wasn't messing around when it came to trade routes. They were strategic and relentless in their pursuit of dominance. They established a vast network that stretched from their home base in the Netherlands all the way to Japan, covering an impressive array of territories. Imagine a giant, seafaring octopus with tentacles reaching across the globe, and you've got the right idea. Their influence was far-reaching and formidable. Their ships, laden with treasures, sailed across the Indian Ocean, braving storms and pirates to bring back the good stuff. These voyages were perilous and required immense skill and bravery. We're talking cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, and pepper, the kind of spices that could make even the blandest meal taste like a party in your mouth. These spices were highly coveted and incredibly valuable. But it wasn't all about spices. The VOC's trade extended to a variety of other luxurious and exotic goods. The VOC were also in the business of silk, porcelain, tea, and even coffee. These items were in high demand and fetched premium prices in European markets. Basically, if it could be sold for a hefty profit back in Europe, the VOC wanted in. They were always on the lookout for the next big thing to trade. They were like the Amazon Prime of their time, except their delivery times were measured in months, not days. The logistics were complex and required meticulous planning, and instead of delivery drones, they had scurvy and mutinies. Life on board was tough, and the sailors faced numerous hardships. It was a different time, a time of adventure and danger, where the rewards were great, but so were the risks. Let's be real. Sailing the high seas in the 17th century wasn't exactly a walk in the park. The VOC's story is as much about adventure as it is about trade. There were daring voyages, clashes with rival powers like Portugal and England, and the constant threat of pirates lurking just over the horizon. One of the most famous figures in VOC history is Henry Hudson, the guy who stumbled upon the Hudson River while looking for a shortcut to Asia. Talk about a wrong turn. Despite not finding that elusive shortcut, Hudson's explorations helped solidify the VOC's presence in North America. And then there's Jan Pieter Zoon Cohen, the ruthless VOC governor-general who wasn't afraid to throw his weight around. He led the company to conquer the Banda Islands, securing their monopoly on nutmeg, but not without controversy. Let's just say his methods weren't exactly in line with modern human rights standards. Section 4. The world is their oyster and spices and coffee, the VOC's global impact. The VOC wasn't just about making a quick buck, they were reshaping the world economy. Their influence extended far beyond mere trade. Their trade activities had a profound impact on the regions they interacted with, for better or for worse. They introduced new goods and ideas but also disrupted local economies. In some places they brought wealth and prosperity, while in others, their arrival marked the beginning of exploitation and colonial rule. The duality of their impact is still felt today. For instance, the VOC's presence in Japan led to a period of cultural exchange and trade, fostering a unique relationship between East and West, introducing Western ideas and technologies to the island nation. This exchange had lasting effects on Japanese society and industry. In Indonesia, however, their pursuit of profit led to the displacement of local populations, altering the social fabric of the region, and the establishment of a brutal plantation system. The legacy of this exploitation is a dark chapter in the history of the VOC. The VOC's impact on global trade cannot be overstated. They were pioneers in creating a global network of commerce. They pioneered new business practices, established sophisticated financial systems, and set the stage for modern capitalism, and played a key role in the rise of Amsterdam as a global trading hub. The city became a bustling center of commerce and innovation. They were like the cool kids on the block, setting trends and influencing others, and everyone wanted a piece of the action. The VOC's legacy is a complex tapestry of innovation, exploitation, and global influence. Section 5, Golden Age Glimmer, the zenith of Dutch trading dominance. By the mid-17th century, the VOC was riding high. They had a stranglehold on the spice trade, their ships were sailing to every corner of the globe, and their coffers were overflowing with riches. This was the golden age of the Dutch Republic, and the VOC was its crown jewel. They were the largest and most successful company the world had ever seen, employing thousands of people and boasting a fleet of hundreds of ships. Their headquarters in Amsterdam was a hive of activity, with merchants, ship captains, and investors from all over Europe flocking to get a piece of the action. But, like all good things, the VOC's dominance wouldn't last forever. The seeds of their decline were already being sown, as competition, corruption, and changing global dynamics threatened to topple this trading titan from its lofty perch. Section 6. From Riches to Rags, the Unraveling of an Empire. What goes up must come down, as the saying goes, and the VOC was about to learn that lesson the hard way. By the 18th century, their grip on the spice trade was slipping, and their profits were dwindling. Competition from other European powers, particularly the British East India Company, was heating up. The VOC's monopoly was being challenged, and their once lucrative trade routes were becoming battlegrounds for naval supremacy. It was like a game of high-stakes Monopoly, but with cannons and muskets instead of hotels and houses. Internal problems also plagued the company. Corruption was rampant, with VOC officials lining their own pockets at the expense of the company's coffers. Add to that mismanagement, dwindling profits, and the rising costs of maintaining their vast empire. And it's no surprise that the once mighty VOC was starting to resemble a sinking ship. Section 7, Ghost of Trade Winds Past, the VOC's legacy in today's world. By 1799, the Dutch East India Company was officially bankrupt. The once mighty trading titan had breathed its last, leaving behind a legacy as complex and multifaceted as the spices it once traded. The VOC may be long gone, but its influence can still be felt today. They were pioneers of global trade, for better or worse, and their innovative business practices laid the groundwork for the modern corporation. Their rise and fall serve as a cautionary tale about the perils of unchecked ambition, the importance of adaptability, and the enduring legacy of globalization. So the next time you sprinkle some cinnamon on your cappuccino or enjoy a cup of Indonesian coffee, take a moment to remember the Dutch East India Company. Their story may be over, but their impact on the world continues to shape our lives in ways we may never fully realize.